As we continue to scrutinize the 2026 budget, Nigerians are reacting with outrage after the Public Accountability Organization, Trachea, revealed that the 2026 proposed budget set aside 22.15 billion naira for the construction, renovation, and furnishing of 100 royal palaces across the country. Among findings which were posted on their X page on Wednesday, 11 palace projects worth over 5 billion naira have no clear identified locations, including 1.54 billion naira earmarked for the modernizing and furnishing of some selected national heritage palaces in communities across Nigeria. The organization found that billions of naira meant for traditional palaces appeared to be routed through unrelated agencies, including the Nigerian Institute for Oceanography, the Cocoa Research Institute in Ibadan, the National Cereal Institute, and even the National Institute for Cancer and Traditional Palaces. Cancer Palace. All right, and cereal. Well, this is coming just days after Trachea also revealed that 8.05 billion naira was allocated for the construction, renovation, and equipping of churches and mosques, with several projects embedded in ministries unrelated to religious affairs. Meanwhile, this is as ICPC said it uncovered 908 ghost workers across at least 50 federal ministries, recovering nearly 1 billion naira in fraudulently paid salaries, with one particularly brazen suspect allegedly enrolling his wife, son, and mother-in-law as government workers while collecting the salaries of 12 other fictitious employees. I mean, let me start with you, Rufai.
The budget show is going on. In fact, we should have a special series on Arise TV called the Budget Show.
Yes, that's what we are doing right now. We're going to continue to scrutinize it. No, we do it periodically.
You can see, this was the argument I was making. The reason why people like us argued for subsidy removal then was that we thought government would be transparent enough and plow the money into the needs of the people. But see what they are spending it on, Oji. If National Cancer Research Institute, that ought to make research funding available for schools for cancer, is the one now building palaces, and they are collecting the money, and these are some that Trachea has been able to review, because there are still many more like that. Oji, till today, they've not given us line by line item how they spent 8.8 trillion that it was the World Bank that drew attention to. Till today, most of the line items in the budget that we need to see have not been spent on the people. I talked about even the deputy speaker that had the effrontery to now send his people to write that wanted to use for young people when National Orientation Agency has not gotten their money. A penny has not been dropped. When National Orientation Agency, when we advocated for them the last time, they got their money. We saw the impact. You saw all of the things they were doing here, even with us, here in Arise.
Right.
And please, government, pay anyway on time. Please.
Yes.
So, you see the kind of process that goes on. What I would like to say is, I don't know, because this problem keeps happening every year, I don't know if we can pass a bill to strengthen the powers of the FRC. Federal Revenue Commission, to scrutinize and make the powers be sort of like an OBR in the UK, to scrutinize the budget process. In fact, in my head, I've written that bill where that agency that will scrutinize the budgets will not be subservient to the president, will not be subservient to the National Assembly. The people of the agents will serve independently, and all the budgets must be submitted to them to scrutinize for 45 days before the president now takes seats to the National Assembly to assent. And they should be given statutory power to raise red flags and to even be given prosecutorial powers to sue anybody that pads and put things in the budget.
Yes, I mean, Rufai, what is the job
that's my solution.
Presidential Advisory Committee? What is the job of the Presidential Advisory Committee? I thought that it set up for things like that as well.
Yes, the budget office is set up for things like that. Service committee, but all of them, since they are in bed together, there's no oversight.
Yes.
We should be able to have an independent body that doesn't care about them, because you see, there's something I call executive usurpation. Usurps all those body of accountability. We must have an accountability body for the budget. I think that should be the lasting solution.
Independent before the budget is submitted.
And you should be given prosecutorial powers that if you see anybody part the budget.
But let me just say something. But if I always that quote, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. As long as you can create 100 agencies. What? Because if we don't deal and repair the institutions that exist, why do we want to create another agency when we have?
No, I'm not saying create another agency. But I'm saying, Dr. Fiscal Revenue Commission.
There is.
Ramfa. No. I think there's an FRC, a Revenue Commission that does the work of overseeing the budget, but it's being subsumed. It's being shut down. I'm saying let's empower that agency. Give it, even its money should come from first line charge. Make it very independent so that it can whistle blow on the budgeting ecosystem. See, Ayo, in 2007-2008, the British government, it was seen that the British government made a lot of lies and errors in the estimation of their budgeting system. That was what led to part of the things they adduced for the stock market crash. In 2010, that's why they set up the OBR. So we must have that accountability watchdog that is empowered.
Yes, I agree with that accountability watchdog. I mean, here we are seeing,
because we talk about
money being allocated to mosques, churches. Now, palaces, 22.15 billion. Now, reactions are trailing the dramatic political bombshell from Rivers State, as Governor Sim Fubara has publicly endorsed APC governorship candidate Kingsley Chinda as his preferred successor and announced that he has joined the Rainbow Coalition led by his former beta rival, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Let's take a look.
We have made peace in the states, and we have a total, and I am supporting our Rainbow Party, our Rainbow Coalition. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is our president and is the one we are supporting. Chinda is the governorship candidate that I am supporting, and anybody who believes in me will support. And every candidate that is under the rainbow. For those of you who are saying, hey, let's stay, we want to collect something before we run. There's nothing to collect. I am already in the family. I've gone back to our family. So please, wherever you are, give your total support to that coalition. We need to move forward. The time of war is over. It's time of peace. And this peace is taking us to another level.
Fubara, the peace seeker. Of course, this garnered a lot of reactions and it was trending. Well, meanwhile, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has also been seen in videos circulating on social media, dancing at events and showing off his best leg work. Let's take a look. I remember the last time we took Wike dancing. Dr. Abati advised him to change his dance moves, but it appears that he has even done it even more. But I just wanted you to just wrap up the thoughts about, Fubara going back to Wike and endorsing Kingsley, seeking for peace. Your thoughts?
To be fair, let me just echo the thoughts that have been shared earlier on, because that's also, I shared the thoughts exactly.
Yes.
I remember the early days when we had on this channel people support groups, the elders of River State, the women of River State, people who were saying that they were going to protect the integrity of the state and were standing with their governor against what was seen to be a political godfather who wanted to insert himself as kingmaker and lord over all in the state. Well, a few months down the line, it shows that unfortunately all that effort was done in vain, because the man that is in the center of the storm, whom they were standing by, whom they were speaking up for, even when he didn't have enough courage to speak up for himself, has now capitulated and gone to the camp of Wike. And the people, and that's what I just feel sad for, that they had an opportunity in the state to actually do things right. But I mean, based on his own choices, he's gone back, he's now dancing, they are whining and dining together. Maybe he will also hire the band to all that conversation. He's already done that. So let's wait for the next election. But I think it speaks to a larger conversation around godfatherism in politics in Nigeria, and how hopefully one day the people's voices would be the most important voice when it comes to choosing who their leader ought to be.
All right, thank you, Aya, for your submission. Now to some thought-provoking scenes from the Nigerian Senate on Tuesday, after Kebbi South Senator Garba Maidoki's passionate defense of traditional medicine and native doctors sparked a debate on the Senate floor. Well, let's take a look at what he said before we come back for a discussion.
Most of our rural dwellers, most of them rely mostly on this traditional medicament, and I think it is high time that we have a law that also allows them to be registered, monitored, and implemented, so that holistically, if this is done, we will also reduce the cost of foreign importation of drugs from foreign nations, and we will rely mostly from our own indigenous herbs and medication by our own native doctors. If I might call, if your ancestors decide to talk to you, you need a native doctor to intercede on your behalf, the Senate President.
All right, Dr. Abati is saying we need a native doctor. But you know, this bill was presented on the floor during the debate for, regulations of medicines and vaccines. But traditional healers are often many people's first and sometimes only point of healthcare contact. The question of how to formally regulate, recognize, and integrate traditional medicine into Nigeria's health framework is one that has been debated for years, and a food and drug regulatory overhaul is arguably the right moment to address this. Your thoughts?
Well, many years ago, there was, I think, Chief Joseph Lambo, two Lambo brothers, one a psychiatrist, the other one was into herbal medicine. And Chief Lambo was one of those leading persons at that time who advocated that there was value in herbal medicine, what was later referred to as alternative medicine, and that should be integrated into, treatment. Yeah. And that's precisely what Senator Maidoki from Kebbi South is saying, and the senator from Kwara North, Senator Umar, who supported him. The argument is that there are many ailments that you can cure, through alternative medicine, but they use the word native doctors, and that may be where the problem may be. But the major issue with alternative medicine, or if you like, herbal medicine, is about standards. Right. And then do we have the infrastructure to make sure that in terms of dosage, in terms of measurement and all of that, it can be almost as useful as orthodox medicine. I said the two gentlemen on the floor of the Senate talked about native doctors. Where I think they ruined the case was that the native doctors have powers to talk to ancestors. Now, I don't know where ancestors are coming into this matter, and that if you
do they not have powers to talk to ancestors? I thought that's what they do. Well, native doctors are...
Well, this is the whole gray area.
Yes.
About alternative medicine. Right. Because when you begin to talk in the direction of magic or voodoo, a number of people are, reluctant to mix voodoo with orthodox medicine, which is based on science. However, what they are trying to do is to regulate, overhaul the regulatory framework for food and drugs
And vaccines,
in Nigeria.
correct, yes.
Yeah, the law is called Food and Drugs Act.
Yes.
So they are proposing amendments to aspect of that particular act. So as for alternative medicine, there is a body of knowledge and argument around its relevance. But the part that I don't know is about native doctors and ancestors getting involved in curative medicine.
All right, okay. That's the doctors in there.
name in all of this.
Which is it?
Professor Sam Oluwalano is one of the leading resource of University of Agriculture Belkuta, was one of my professors, one of the leading resource on herbs, traditional medicine and all of that. No, I think if somebody like that is brought into this government and remedies and natural herbal remedies are curated over time, Nigeria can be a net exporter of natural herbal remedies. This government, please contact Professor Sam Oluwalano.
All right, very well said. Thank you very much.